Previously on Transform and Rollout Reforged.
So he could buy us some time, but we can't fly the shuttle.
But
So it doesn't.
I can.
But you're not here!
I arrive from the ceiling, great. Your savior is here.
Hear the thrusters fly by. Of course, it's underwater, so it sounds like.
Zoidberg? I put my hands up.
I look at you. I'm embarrassed. I am so embarrassed that you just did that right now.
Radar, we cannot win this.
And from your optics, you peer in and you see a purple bot in the center of this room pressing buttons on a terminal.
I'd like to take a picture. Hey, it could be evidence.
Welcome back, Season 4, Reforged, Episode 9. But first, we must introduce our players and characters. Currently, they are split into two different parties. This first half of the episode will focus on Aqua and Radar. So, players, here's the plan. Give us a short description on what your character looks like, what happened to them in the previous episode, and what is going on in their brain module. Killbyte, go!
Hi, I'm Kilobyte. I'm playing Aqua. He's a mostly hot pink bot with some white and some neon green accent colors. He has a dome-shaped head, like a respirator for his mouth. He turns into a speedboat, and he's very awkward in a lot of conversations. And last time we were with him, he was in a ship that was spiraling out of control from falling from the sky. So he's panicking a little.
Panicking, and he will. Lapis, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Lapis. I'm playing Radar. He is a 22-foot tall blue and yellow bot that turns into a jet ski. He's got a shark fin type thing on his back. He's got 4 horns on his head, a big green visor. He's got a mouth similar to More Than Meets the Eye Cyclonus. And last session, as Kilo mentioned, we were spiraling out of the sky. And Radar is, I'd like to think that he's pretending to be calm, but he's not calm. He's probably gripping Aqua with every fiber of his being, trying to make sure his little man does not fly out the window or something.
Well, I didn't think about that, but good point. Anyway, and I am Onyx. I'll be your DM. Primus, your god for this campaign, and welcome to Transform and Rollout Season 4, Reforged. The ship Powerglide is operating, carrying all 4 of you. Sea Spray, Aqua, and Radar, called the Sunken Flight, is truly living up to its name. Currently blasted by the Decepticon low orbit satellite. The left engine is no longer operational, and you begin spinning out of control, spiraling down towards Cybertron, towards the acid waste below. The G-force pulls you to the right side of the ship with such intensity you feel almost fused to the walls. Alerts, blaring, Powerglide, holding on to the controls with everything they have, but it's not enough as the wheel snaps and launches them to the right side of the cockpit. Looking outside the window, you breach the acid gas and slam! Everything goes dark and silent. An unknown amount of time has passed. Your vision slowly restores. Static and blurry at first, but you awaken on what is left of a destroyed ship, exposed to the elements. Looking around, the area is dark, only lit by bioluminescent green crystal plants and fuzzy glowing blobs in the distance. You're on what's left of the right side of the hull of the ship. No signs of the cockpit or the left side of the ship, except for the pieces in front of you, currently smoldering from the crash. A bit of moonlight peers down through a large hole upon you. You're in a shallow cave. Part of the ship must have pierced through it. Small amounts of acid gas leaks down but dissipates before reaching you. Aqua, in the most tragic of all events, your datapad broke.
No.
That was our only way of tracking stuff.
Fortunately, it did break some of your fall, but the screen is now brushed and still turns on, but it's hard to read and the touchpad glitches out and appears to select random locations when played with. What do you two like to do?
He just cries.
Oh.
No. He's a little upset about it, but he'll look around and be like, Radar, are you okay?
Yeah, I think so. Where are the other two? Do you have sight on Power Glide or Sea Spray?
That don't see them. Sea Spray, Power Glide, are you there?
Hey, holler if you guys are anywhere near. I assume we don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything, but as you look around and holler, a form in the distance, blurred via the lack of light around it, stands still, only slouching a little bit. Footsteps leading near you, a trail to this spot's location.
Oh, does the shape look at all vaguely familiar to us, or?
It's very dark and very hard to see, but I will let you roll a perception for me. If you get an 18 or higher, I'll let you know.
Okay. Unfortunately, I got a 15.
It's very hard to make out the shape. They haven't moved. They appear to be standing and slouched.
Can I stand up and, help Aqua up?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm, offering you a hand, Aqua, to yank you back up.
I will take it, but I will take the crushed tablet and I'll hold it tight.
Oh!
As you're picking up the tablet, chunks of glass fall.
Makes him a little sad. He'll try to store it in his cockpit. Oh, and also as he's storing it, I want to check on Shelly.
Yeah, I was thinking about
it's Shelly. How's my
Yeah.
turtle? It's part of the turtle club.
The turtle appears to be unconscious, but still untouched.
He got rattled around in there.
Yeah.
Sure
Like
did.
a washing machine.
Shelly is unconscious, but we should seek medical attention when we can.
Yeah, no, I agree. We can see about getting you a new tablet too. I'd like to see about heading, cautiously heading towards the other figure too. And actually, you know what? Can I take my SMG out and ready it just in case this is
Absolutely.
dangerous? Okay. All right. Yeah, I've got that in my hand. And
If
I'd
you
like.
are readying it, you need to tell me what needs to happen for you to jump the
Okay.
gun. Pun intended.
Oh no, are you Chekhov?
Did that make sense? I didn't get that.
It's a movie thing.
It makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Okay.
Listeners
it
know.
went-
Listeners know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
It went,
Leave a
dude, it
comment
went
below.
right over my head. Okay, yeah. In order to shoot, it's going to be a situation where, if this person looks hostile, if they come at me in a
Come at you?
hostile
Okay.
manner, yeah.
Okay, perfect. That works for me. I just need to know the general idea, because if something else comes out of nowhere, you're not prepared for that. But if this
Yeah.
item here, not to sound more ominous, but
Yeah.
I need to know.
No,
It is
I
a
definitely. It is ominous. Radar would absolutely be focused specifically on the shadowy figure, though.
Okay, that works for me. So you're approaching the figure.
Yeah.
Aqua, what are you doing?
I'm following Radar. I think we're holding hands, so I'll just go where Radar goes.
We are holding hands. That's my little guy.
You're all holding hands. As you approach them, the figure and shapes begin to take more form and become more clear. Sea spray.
Oh.
Following the steps, it appears they awoken before you all, but the crash made the ceiling unsteady, and a steel
Unstable?
beam... Unstable, thank you. Unstable, and a steel beam must have fell during their short exploration from above and speared them through the brain module into the
Oh.
ground, stopping them forever in their path.
Oh no.
Oh, can I just check to make sure that he's dead?
Yeah,
Is he gray?
he's gray.
Oh.
Oh no.
Well, that's not great. We gotta hope Power Glide made it out.
Yes. Power glide. I'll scream it. Power glide. Are you
Power
there?
glide! Are you anywhere nearby? Please be alive.
No response.
Oh. Does Sea Spray have any, like, this is gonna sound horrible. Does he have anything? Does he have anything on him?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, actually.
Okay.
So,
Does he have the keys?
Radar. I'll drive us out of here. With what?
Sea Spray,
Imagination.
clearly.
So, you're searching him. You find his bubble gun,
Ooh.
100 feet of steel wire, a single pair of cuffs, 2 glow rods that were safe inside a now broken container, and finally, 60 Shannon.
Okay, I'm gonna feel a little bad about taking the Shanix, but I guess I'll just grab everything for now.
Okay.
Can I give one of the glow rods to Aqua?
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
could you send me the stuff for the bubble gun?
I'm going to send you everything.
Thanks.
There-
So you pick
Okay,
a
cool.
flavor of bubblegum, and then whatever flavor you pick.
Okay. Well, I guess I
Yeah.
will pick this stuff up, and then yeah, I'll give a glow rod over to Aqua.
Can I crack the like? I'm assuming the glow rods are like the little neon lights we use at parties. So I would like
Yeah.
to crack it in the middle, and so it goes the thing, and shake it so it glows. And I would like to see if I can see any like energon leakage to see if maybe Powerglide got up and was like went out to find a way, like try to find an exit. If that makes sense, to see like if he's hurt, he might be leaking. So maybe I can see if which direction he might have gone to.
Sure. You crack a glow rod, which allows you to see 20 feet radius around you for the next 10 turns. Not quite enough to see farther than that, but it is easier to see some shapes like within the 30-foot range, and then stuff start losing their color and uniformity after that, if that makes sense.
Yes.
You're searching around. You only see at the moment the footsteps from Sea Spray trailing from his current position all the way back to where you guys woke up from, which is roughly 50 feet from where you landed. You do not see anywhere where Powerglide could have gone. You do not find the cockpit section of the ship.
Can I just look up above us to make sure if there's no more like steel rods that want to come down, or maybe if the other parts of the ship are above us somewhere?
Sure. Looking above, using the estimate or guesstimate of the glow rod in its 20-foot radius, the ceiling is large. It's probably 150 feet above you, so it's hard to see other steel beams. But there are these weird, glowing, blurry, fuzzy things on the ceiling. They're very small. They don't emit a huge amount of radius, but they do like add some atmospheric ominence.
Ambient? Are you
Ambience.
like lighting?
Kind of like a
Yeah, like lighting.
bioluminescence
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
a green shade.
Hey, Aqua, do you remember there being any kind of... Wait, there was a bioluminescence place on Cybertron, wasn't there? You were interested in seeing it.
That is correct, but we should not be near it.
Well, if we can at least confirm this is where we are, then it'll help getting out, I assume. What was the name? What was it?
It was the last time we were in the acid waste, and so we just flew away.
Yeah, there is... Where in the world was that bioluminescence thing? I'm trying to find it. There's Prism Canyon. That doesn't sound like where we're at.
It was the Argon Sea was the one that they told me about.
Yeah.
Was that it? Okay.
Yeah, it was the Argon Sea. Yes.
Oh, yep, here it is. Okay, no, this sounds exactly like what it is.
Yeah, Argon Sea is on the other side of Cybertron.
Oh,
So yeah.
okay.
Because
Well,
we're at the so if you look at the map, we're at the bottom tip.
yeah.
On the right side. Yeah.
All right. Well, I suppose we should see if we can hunt down any other parts of the ship and try and find Powerglide.
Agreed. Let's find a way out and
Out.
look for help.
All right, why don't you go ahead and lead the way with your light? Don't let go of my hand.
Will do. I will find a path forward and slowly trek down it.
Making distance from our dearly departed Sea Spray, I would say probably about 80 to 100 feet away and farther away from the crash. You hear a snap like a large branch can be heard originating at the exact spot you left Sea Spray.
Like a branch snapping?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I'd like to slowly turn and look.
Slowly turning and looking, and as you take a peek at what made that noise, you notice Sea Spray is no longer there. A large thud and a low, content, gator-like growl. Roll me a perception. If you get an 18 or higher, I will tell you what's going on.
Not again. I got a 12.
Hey, I got an 18. Look at that.
Wow, look at that. So because it's dark, you don't get the full details, but you will get the following. You, Aqua, not Radar, you see a large figure marching off in the distance. You estimate between 60, 65 feet tall, hunched over, massive, walking the opposite direction you two are wandering towards. Unfortunately, the darkness prevents you from seeing any other further details.
Oh, we might want to get out of here.
What did you see it?
Yes, I did not see much, but it's pretty big.
Yeah, let's keep moving.
I will keep moving quickly, but not running to make too much sound.
I like it. Good, because I was going to make you roll something if you were just gonna walk it. Anyway,
Power walking,
within
power
this
walking.
cave, you find a large tunnel towards the direction you are heading towards, with railroad peeking through, tracks leading outwards further down this tunnel. What would you like to do?
Tracks should lead to civilization.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Go ahead and follow those, I suppose. Hopefully we'll
We
come
shall
across
follow
more
them.
parts of the tree. Did I just say the tree?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know where tree came from.
The snapping of branches.
I guess.
Following the path,
okay.
sections of the tunnel are exposed, and you can see some of the acid mist seeping in, only leaving a small amount of room for you to carefully tiptoe around and continue downwards, still following this tunnel. It's not long until the tunnel ends and you see the acid wastes in its entirety. Jagged ground, half-melted pillars, and sizzling hiss everywhere. Your optics continue following the railroad tracks roughly 200 feet forward, and on the other side, the continuation of this tunnel, safe from the acid mists. The only thing stopping you is the looming green death that curses this land. You hear way back in the distance behind you, not yet in a fury, the same growl you heard earlier. What would you like to do?
We have to pass. You said we have to pass through the green acid mist.
Yes, there's 200 feet of acid mist between you and the next place that's unaffected by it.
Yeah. Okay.
Radar. This is player to player, just so you know. I'm at 1 health.
Oh,
I'm at 1 health. I can't cross this, okay? I don't know how much this is gonna do. I'm at 1.
I don't have anything to heal us. I tried to find some on the ship, and Onyx said, and if I remember, and I quote, "There's nothing there."
Well, I
So-
think didn't Sea Spray had some energon?
He gave it
Pretty
to me
easy.
to get me back up because I was down.
No, but
That is correct.
we okay. I thought
No,
it
he
was
didn't
right
have
now.
any.
Okay. Well, I do have 2 energon sticks, and they're 1d4, so that will get me up a little bit. But if the acid does more than 4 damage, I'm down again. So
Yeah. Player to player, I've got 7, so I'm a little better off, but not by much. So.
DM, do these
Mhm.
tracks look like they're being used, or are they abandoned, or are they like in the process of being
The
built?
railroad tracks?
Yeah,
The railroad
like
tracks looks like they've been abandoned for a long time. Like some of the tracks are buried underneath the melted pools. Some of the tracks are buried just from dirt and rock from the thousands of years they've been neglected from.
Okay. Could I try where we are to see if I can find any like possible equipment that was left behind that might help us traverse this mist?
I'm not gonna say no,
but
I'm not gonna.
say
I'm not
that-
gonna. I'm not gonna make you roll because the situation is dire for sure. You do find rocks, but as for equipment, I'm trying to think here what you could do. You would have to get really creative with it. It may be an all or nothing's gamble. You could, because it's a mist. It's not a rain. I don't know if that would work either. I was thinking like you could rip off some of the tunnel and use it as like a hat, but it's a mist.
Yeah. I was trying to see if maybe they
Yeah.
had some suits leftovers or maybe like some type of respirators. Because I don't know how the mist actually like hurts you. If it's like if you intake it, then it hurts you, or if it touches you, it hurts you. So he's trying to kind of figure out like a hypothesis of like what would be the best solution for this.
You can look it up on your oh wait.
Why would you do that? I actually have I have an idea. I have a thought. So I saw Sea Spray using his bubble gun before. Can you remind me what is? It literally just bubbles that shoot out of it?
It shoots bubbles. Yeah, it shoots bubbles out of it and does water damage. Can
I make a really, really big bubble that we can use to walk in? Oh, can I make a bubble to just cover our heads? Can I do that?
But if the mist touches us and it hurts us, other than being inhaled, that could also hurt us.
Lapis, I think you're onto something. You might need to scope it down a little bit. You're going a little too big. I think you need to scope it down a little bit, but I think you're definitely onto something. But I don't want to give it to you right away.
Radar. Well, I need to be Aqua. Radar.
Yeah, what's up?
Cover us in bubbles, layers of bubbles, to protect us from the mist. We make our own bubble buddies like SpongeBob.
Yeah, we can be what's the packaging stuff? Bubble wrap? We can be bubble wrap
each other, yeah. Or we make friends with the big thing.
The big thing takes us through. Alright, I am going to pull that bubble gun out. Alright.
Wait. Try it on yourself first before you shoot me with it, okay?
you just mark them on accident.
Try the hypothesis on yourself first.
Yeah, that's great. I'll go ahead and do that. If I somehow I need to just to the three of you, to the three of us. If I somehow hit Aqua and he falls down, we don't say a word to she can't know. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take the bubble gun. I'm gonna turn it on myself.
Shooting the floor first and see how the bubbles do.
Alright, okay, yes, I will. Yeah, great idea. I don't want to knock myself out with that.
Imagine you like holding the gun against yourself. You're like, oh yeah, that's good.
Dude, I have it like pressed against my temple. I'm ready. No, okay. I shoot the floor just to see if it's possible to be able to cover ourselves in like a layer of bubbles.
Now here is a great question. Are you shooting the floor in front of you or in front of you by the acid?
I would say by the acid so I can see if it actually reacts.
All right. Thank you. That's helpful. Shooting a bubble. It's roughly about the size of your fist. A single bubble shoots out, and as soon as it makes contact with the ground, it pops and explodes and does a little poof of water, and the acid separates a little bit, and within a few clicks, the acid takes over once more.
Oh, Aqua, what
put
if
that
I
baby
just
on full auto? And
yeah,
that's
exactly what I was thinking. What if I just went ahead and fired the gun and we bolted through?
It could be risky. Oh, sorry, I'm not Aqua. It could be risky. We don't know how much ammunition we have.
Do you want me to try carrying you? I can try and run us both over.
Carrying and shooting might not be the best idea.
Well, I think we got a 50-50. We're either going to get eaten by the thing behind us or we're going to get melted by the acid. I say we take the bubble gun option.
I will remind you, Lapis, if you carry something, your speed is reduced to half.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Aqua shot my idea down for carrying him, so I think we're going to run separately. But, like, do you want to give it a go?
Before we do that, sir, I would like to just eat the 2 energon sticks that I have. The 2 energon sticks that I have, I'm just gonna scarf them down.
You just scarfing them down. Let's go.
Yeah. I turn to Aqua, he's shoving a candy bar in his mouth.
Look at that. 4 health. Yay.
You're at 5 now, buddy.
And that was 2 dice, and I got a 4. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're gonna run through.
Radar, describe to me what you are doing, and then Aqua, describe to me how you're running close. And then at the end of this, I'm going to ask for your speeds.
Okay. So I am going to hold on to Aqua's hand still, because if worse comes to worse, I can just throw him forwards and I can die. And I'm firing the gun, like I've got my finger pulled all the way down the trigger, so I am rapid firing this bad boy, and I run into the bubbles.
Okay. You run into the bubbles?
I run into where the bubbles are popping.
Okay, perfect. And then when you're holding Aqua's hand, is it more side by side or right behind you or in
Right
front of you?
behind.
Okay, thank you. What are your speeds?
My speed in my bot mode is 45 feet.
Mine is 30 feet.
Okay, so you're going to be reduced to Aqua's since you can't go faster than Radar.
Okay.
Yeah, you make it, since it's not really combat, I'm going to say, since it's 200 feet, 30 feet, you can run the whole amount. You're not trying to shoot someone, you're just shooting your gun. So you can use your bonus action to move farther. So you're making about 60 feet per this round. So you basically need to get there in 3 1/4 round. First round goes great. You're shooting the bubbles. You're going through. It's working. The bubbles, when they go out of the gun, the acid separates, creating a little divide. Just big enough for you to run through because you're aiming the gun up a little bit so it can cover your height as well. So the bubbles arc downwards. And as soon as Aqua runs past the section that has bubbles, the acid swoops up and takes the location once more. When you make it to the 60-foot marker, you hear the low growl behind you as if they heard the gun going off multiple times. And that's when you you can feel the ground beneath you shake and tremble.
We need to run quicker.
We can't go any faster without alt modes with wheels. I'm going as fast as I can.
Continuing to our next round, you make it another 60 feet, so you're at the 120-foot mark. Things are going pretty smoothly. It's going great. You're running as fast as you can. It feels weird to step on a surface that is wet and partially melted, but because the water hit it, it kind of cooled it, but it's still soft to the touch of your feet. Roll me a con. With advantage, I'll give you advantage because of this idea that you put together. If you get a 13 or less, let me know. You have advantage.
You're right, thank you.
Your first one was a natural 20, and the second one was a 13, so 23.
Okay, here's what I'll do because I'm a graceful DM.
Take it deep.
As you're running, your foot slips Radar, and you begin to see yourself slide into the acid. Aqua, at a hyper focus, he's locked in. He's ready to go. Scoops up your foot and brings it back into safety, and you guys continue running forward.
Oh, thanks, Aqua. I appreciate the save.
You're welcome. You see in his face, since he has like a digital dome, there's a little digital like sweat drop on it. Like, oh no, like a little sweat emoji thing.
You make it another 60 feet. You're at the 180-foot mark. You are almost there. You're 20 feet away. You hear a massive roar. Whatever beast is chasing you is at the edge where you were before hitting the mist.
It's not sounding good.
Well, let's hope it can't follow us through this mist.
Roll another con with advantage.
I got a 15.
A 14.
Perfect. You both pass. You make it across and into the other side. Make it into the other end. The hallway is lit by a single blurry green light on above you. Odd. The light begins to move, revealing more of this room. You've been in a room like this before, filled with other railroad tracks, filled with train carts, two of which are in surprisingly good condition, the Prima and the Vector Prime cart. Four of them, however, are heavily melted from the exposure of acid mist pouring directly onto them above in the ceiling that had, like, holes in it. The names of the carts cannot be read. You do not hear or feel the shaking of the massive thuds behind you. You can assume that the creature that was chasing you stopped when they made it to the acid divide. What would you like to do?
I wipe the sweat off my brow. No, I've had my hands on my knees, like hunched over, gasping for air. That was horrifying. Aqua, let's never do that again.
Agreed.
All right. what do we got here? We got carts. Most of them look like we can't use them.
They could help as shelter. They might even have some network capabilities.
Yeah, let's check them out. DM, how big are they? Can they fit both of us, or is it like a one?
A train cart. You've been in a train cart before. It could
Okay.
fit several of you.
Okay,
These
so it's
ones
a
look
full one.
much older. They look like they're from the ancient times almost to you. But you're young, so you don't know this. So they just look old and somewhat corroded a little bit. But the two ones that are relatively in good condition look still pretty well. Like they're just an offset of corrosion color. They're not melted like the other one.
And you said it was the Prima cart and
The Prima cart and the Vector Prime one.
Okay, so I guess can I approach the primal one
Mm-hmm.
and see if I can get inside or if it's locked?
Yeah, it takes a little bit of nudging. I want you to roll me a strength.
Okay.
I'm looking for 12 or higher.
I got a dirty stinky 21.
Yeah, after you felt the first rusted hinges, you just shoulder checked it and it opened no problem.
Nice.
Going inside this cart, it looks and appears to be fancy. They were very much into relaxing when on the cart, unlike the carts you've seen before. Like the chairs are padded, there are refreshments, but they have dried up, and there are recharging slabs that you don't know if they work yet. They require some sort of power source of some kind, and it seems whatever it is turned off at the moment.
Hey, Aqua, why don't you come in here and see if you can take a look at the controls? I'm gonna try and explore further, see if there's anything we can grab.
Well, do be careful.
Yeah, I'm always careful. I say after almost slipping and dying in that pool of acid.
Yeah. Digital eyes just kind of shrink
He's learning sass.
I would like to look at the controls or analyze the controls and see if I can wire them back up and get them functioning.
They seem very simplistic. There's no touchpads here. There are all levers and buttons and wire pulleys.
Ew, I don't touch old technology. All about new and touch screens. Come on. Okay, I would like to figure out is there a manual? Maybe there's a manual somewhere that I
There's
could learn
no manual, but after pulling with one of the levers and pulleys, you notice that this cart converts coal or some sort of steam into electricity.
Fascinating. I'm trying to figure out what I can ask next. Is there an easy way to analyze, or is there a residual of the material needed inside the furnace or the chamber where it converts it, so I can tell what I need for it? If I need a canister of something, or if I need a rock of something.
It looks like the canister is part of the container, so all you need to do is put said material inside and shut it, and then pull one of the levers that you are playing with.
Okay, so I will I will go find Radar instead of screaming to inform them that we need to find a material to turn on the cart.
I'm still in the cart. I'm just going towards the back to look.
Okay.
Oh, then I'll
Radar,
just-
going towards the back to look, you find coal
Oh.
and organic sticks that have been untouched by the acid. When you go to pick up said sticks, due to the passage of time, they have been petrified.
Huh. Well, that ain't useful to me. Aqua, did you figure out how to get the thing on yet?
Yes, we need a resource to put in this canister so it may convert it into electricity.
Do you need really old organic gunk? Because there's a piece of something back here.
It could work. Without my tablet, I don't know much.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna bring you this in. I'm gonna grab this rock because it's kind of ugly. And I bring both the wood and the rock to Aqua, and I give them to him.
Since I don't know what goes in, I'll put both of them in the canister. Hopefully there's no bad reaction.
I think we're sharing the brain cell this session.
Well, without my
Duncan.
tablet, I'm not the smart one. My tablet gives me everything.
Oh, okay.
I'm just an iPad kid.
iPad baby. He just wants his baby shark.
Hey, leave Baby Shark out of this.
putting the substance inside the container and pulling a lever. The cart shakes and then hums to life, flickering due to the unstable chemical compounds in the container not being what they are used to, and the large amount of time that passed. Power is on. Though unsteady, it is on. However, even within this cart, because the windows are broken and such, can't be amazingly perfect condition, you hear a creaking metal sound, eerie and slow. Then a crashing clash of alloys colliding with one another. The cart farthest from you, that is heavily melted due to the acid, has begun to fall apart further. Side panels fall, the roofing rips into pieces on impact with the flooring of both itself and the ground below.
Does it look like it was caused just because it's old, or does it look like something did that?
Would you like to check it out?
From inside the cart, yes.
Okay.
I'm like looking
That's
out
fair.
the window.
You can see it from inside the cart looking out the window. It was probably caused by this cart booting up and shaking up the place a little bit. And just enough shaking up probably caused this to happen. But in the middle of the cart, now revealed because the outsides are no longer there, a skeletal figure chained, but their shackles fused to the wrists and ankles. A single hand frozen in time, reaching upwards towards the sky. This figure has been long dead, corroding for ages, leaving no detail behind to help identify them. In their grasp on their other hand, however, you spot something refracting a little bit of light from the moonlight above.
Ooh, okay. Aqua, stay here. I'm gonna go check that out. If it goes horribly wrong, leave. Take the thing and go.
Dude.
Can I can I be cool and just shimmy out the window instead of going through the door?
I want you to roll me in athletics.
Just for my mental picture, we're still in the tunnel. The train just turned on. It hasn't started moving or rolling, right?
No, it hasn't started moving or rolling.
Okay.
The tunnel was revealed to be a train station.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I got a 16.
16? You, like a cool kid, crawling out the window. You break some glass, obviously, but you hop over. It's nothing too impressive. It's nothing not impressive. Though there was a small possibility you could have slipped, but you didn't because you're a cool guy and you land on your feet.
I'm a little proud of myself, and I hold my head a little bit higher.
Do you do like a roll on the floor and then get up?
DM, can I do a little roll on the floor and get up?
Gonna have you roll, not athletics. I'm
gonna do it. No, I have to. I gotta be cool. Hold on.
I'm gonna increase the difficulty to a 16.
I got a 16.
Yeah, you absolutely do it. Yeah.
Actually, I got an 18. I don't
Why
know
did
why.
it update?
I don't know.
What is
I don't know.
What's going on here?
I also saw it say 16 and then change to an 18.
The dice gods decided
All right.
that I really needed to do this.
All right, you did it. You did it.
Yeah.
Okay. When you get up and you're like, oh, cool, and looking back, you slowly see Aqua's thumb goes up like, good job.
I'm proud of myself. I walk towards the skeleton man.
The item you spot, an item untouched by time and disease corrosion. A perfectly preserved pair of lenses in the grasp of their hand.
Like glasses type lenses?
Yeah.
Oh. Does he look booby trapped? Am I gonna get Indiana Jones if I try and take this?
He looks very dead. It's a skeletal. The shackles have been fused to the wrists and melted in place. I don't think it's booby trapped, but it's up to you.
You know what? If I die, I die. I take the glasses.
Big explosion. You're dead. Moving on.
Yeah, big explosion. You're dead. The glasses are stuck in their hands. I want you to roll me a strength. I'm looking for an 18.
Be careful with them.
I only got a 14, unfortunately.
You pull, but the hands are gripped so tight. The glasses are very entrancing. No booby trap.
Okay. Can I take my scimitar out and cut his hand off?
Certainly try.
Cool. I want to do that.
Okay, roll to hit.
Do you want that with strength?
Yeah, the scimitars are with strength. It's a melee attack.
I got a dirty, stanky 20.
Okay, with the 20, you do slice I'm assuming you're slicing at the wrist?
Yeah.
Or the arm. Slicing at the wrist pops off. and the hand drops with the lenses still inside their grasp.
Good deal. I'm gonna pick that up and I'm gonna go back to the cart.
Yeah, then the skeleton comes alive.
I feel something grab my foot.
On your way to the cart, you both hear a roaring jet far off in the sky above you. Then a transformation.
My man.
A dark figure drops down into the train station and rolls out of the acid mist pouring down the entryway. Darkness begins to slowly spread from their position as a source. They begin to rise, and with them, their iconic wingspan stretches out. Black Shadow has arrived.
Oh, God, not this guy. This guy stinks. I don't want to talk to him. How far away is he?
He's 20 feet from your position.
Okay. God, I don't want to talk to this guy. Does Aqua see this too?
Yes.
Black Shadow?
What are you doing here?
He gives you both a stare as he continues standing tall.
Okay, I'm getting this vibe that maybe somebody put a hit on us. I'd like to inch closer to the cart.
I would like to have my hand on the lever. I'm ready to just...
He responds, "You've been added to my list. I'm terribly sorry, little one." He lunges towards your direction, and we fade to black.
Oh, I hate this man!
Alright, welcome back to Transform and Roll Out, Season 4, Reforged, Episode 9. But first, our players are split into two different groups. This time we focus on Spyderbyte and Bloodstorm. So players, here's a plan. Give us a short description on what your character looks like, what happened to them in the previous episode, and what is going on in their brain module. Pick it on and no one in particular. Hexamis, you go first.
How did I know? Anywho, I'm Hex. I play as Spyderbyte, who is a black, mauve, and neon pink spider by the name. She is the medic and kind of the tank of the group. Right now, I think Bite's having a bit of a time. She's having a lot of panic because I think she, as they boarded the ship, saw her siblings and was frantically trying to text them, if I remember correctly, to let them know that they were on the other ship.
I think part of that is correct. However, none of the messages went through because in Radar's hubris, they let out a signal jammer.
Oh no.
Bloodstorm, here we go.
What's up, guys? I'm Clickbait. I am playing Bloodstorm, who is a blood red, shockingly, seeker. She's not really sure what's going on. There's definitely something fishy afoot, and she's trying to figure out what exactly it is. But she's also worried about Aqua, kind of Radar, mostly Aqua, and what's going on because it's just her and Bite.
That's your sibling! Anyway.
Yeah, and they've been
There's no such thing as sibling rivalry here. And finally, I'm Onyx, be your DM, your Primus, you're gone for this round, and welcome to Transform and Roll Out Season 4, Reforged.
Reforged!
So, leaving the low orbit satellite after retrieving evidence of your innocence to the crime being framed against you, Shockwave valiantly stayed behind to slow Tiger Moth's forces while you two made your escape. The ship pre-programmed to take you to Icon after some distance. You look back through the rear ship and you see the following blaster fire coming from the satellite can be viewed hitting a ship retreating from the scene. A huge red face insignia can be spotted on the nose of the cockpit. The left engine has been destroyed. It spirals out of control, spins downwards into the acid waste below where it disappears amongst the mist.
Well, that's not great.
I just imagine we're both like wide-eyed, like unmoving as the ship just slowly goes down.
I'm just staring at Bite, like all optics wide open, like
looks up at her. She just like
what do
and
we
as
do
you
now?
do, darkness fills the sky. Lights on the outside of the ship illuminate some of your surroundings as you begin flying over the manganese.
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 These knees?
Magazine. Bloodstorm, as you are prepared to say something to Spyderbyte, this brings back terrible memories of the night prior. So much has happened in the last 24 hours to you in particular, and to everyone else. You were abandoned, left behind. You found your true form, you found your siblings, you've seen scary bots possibly being mind controlled. You and your siblings are being framed for murder, and a purple bot with a singular yellow optic helped you find the truth. And now they are trying to protect you and your sibling, Spyderbyte. Not to mention half of your siblings are now unaccounted for. What goes on in Bloodstorm's mind as the ship flies above the mountain?
I feel like she's just gonna kind of start flashing back into different things that have happened to her. I mean, she's been terrified more times than she can count over the past solar cycle. And I feel like some of her joints might just kind of just lock up and she's just stuck. Stuck in her head, stuck in the past, stuck in the fear. She's just stuck.
As you're just stuck, Spyderbyte, you notice energon tears begin to form and trail down her cheeks and drip down her chin.
I feel like Bite was also in a similar situation of lost in her own head. But then when she sees the tears, I think it's gonna kind of snap her out of it. Just especially because I feel like Bloodstorm puts on this bravado of like, not just I'm cool, but like nothing phases me kind of deal. So like that must be like a lot is happening in the noggin. So I think she's not gonna touch her, but she's gonna say, hey, Bloodstorm, please. It's okay. We'll make this work. I'm not exactly sure what's happening, but here, we should call Black Shadow. He might know what to do. But I need you to stay here with me, okay? I need you here with me in the present.
There's been so much that's happened. And I just don't know.
Here, take my hand. And she's gonna hold her hand out to her.
I feel like the gesture of Bite holding out her hand, Bloodstorm's gonna kind of like blink, and it snaps her out of it enough for her to like, she'll like shake her wings and like kind of like pick them up and stand them back out where she usually holds them, and take a deep breath and just say, thank you, Bite. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna have to get to the bottom of this. I think you're right. We should call Black Shadow.
We should also maybe take a seat. I think this is a bit much.
Yeah. Sweet Solus Prime. It's more than a bit much, Bite.
It's a bite more. She like kind of breaks into a very cheesy grin.
Bloodstorm will give you like this reluctant little smile. Like she doesn't want to think that's funny, but it's funny.
But I think she's gonna like I'm assuming that there's a bench of some kind nearby. She's gonna like gently coax her over and take a seat and then just pat beside her.
Bloodstorm's gonna walk over, and I feel like the entire time, like each step she takes, like she's gonna try and like lock down another memory from the past day and just like lock it behind a wall and try and like close herself off to it.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Roll just a flat one. If you roll less than a 10, your foot quivers and you stumble.
Oh no.
Oh my god, you're actually giving the PTSD. Like they're going into shock.
Oh god.
Been there, done that. Wait, what'd you roll?
I rolled an 8.
Yeah, your foot quivers and you begin to stumble.
I try to brush it off and just keep walking. I try to lock down another flashback.
Roll another d20.
White isn't gonna react like too crazily, not to spook her further. But I would assume as soon as she can tell that she's like quivering and
I got a natural 20.
Spyderbyte, you see this. The first tumble or stumble concerned you heavily, and you were preparing to catch her on her next one. However, she found herself centered. That's the wrong word. She found herself and were able to maintain her balance.
Stop giggling. This is PTSD we're talking about.
I'm sorry. No, it's just okay. Yeah, she just tries to close herself off to what happened before. Not a healthy coping strategy, public service announcement, but that is what she's gonna do. in this moment when she needs to focus and figure out what the slag is going on.
You don't really know no better. I
No, don't
really
know
blame
better.
her.
I have to go find a rung here in a bit.
Yeah, do we have a cellular signal?
I'm sorry, I can't.
I wish to
Flying
contact Black Shadow.
in the sky.
We do have his
Welcome
number.
on. You do
Yes,
have
we
his
do.
number.
But we are still like in the
We're out of low orbit though. So I assume we're in the atmosphere.
You're not necessarily in the atmosphere. You're like lower.
Well, does the ship
Orbit,
have
upper
communications? Can I hail him from the ship?
Well, you can certainly try. Here, do that.
Okay. I'm gonna go sit in the captain's chair, if there is one. She's gonna look outside. She's gonna think for one moment, dang, I could get used to this. And then she's gonna focus back on what's on what's going on. And she's gonna try and look for something to try and hail Black Shadow.
Okay. As you're looking over the console, you see a screen indicating Icon is the current destination and a timer ticking downwards indicating that you will be there in less than 2 hours. It also has the number of mileage remaining, which we won't dive too deeply into those details because why would I do that? Anyway, when you first touch a button, you get an error feedback.
Interesting. She tries to touch another button. Or what does the error code say before I touch anything else?
It says autopilot is enabled, remote access only.
Can I look for if there's something lit up that says autopilot to disengage? Oh, this is gonna be bad. To disengage it?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me roll something.
I don't want to disengage it yet. I just want to find the autopilot button.
You do not.
Do I assume this thing is voice activated? I'm gonna try and like push like a comms button if I see one and just like spam it.
Okay. The closest thing to a comms button that you press is the intercom for the ship, and when you spam it and try to speak through it, Spyderbyte can hear you from the other room where you sat down over the comm.
She just goes, "Like it all, I can't. This is not freaking working." Just hear her cursing in the other room. Anyways,
Perfect.
continue, please.
Nope, that works. I was gonna have you say something, but you did it for me. Good.
Oh yeah, she's just the Primus begotten ship won't friggin' let me push any buttons. Autopilot, dang shockwave. I can't get anything to work first. The flat now this, and I just
Baby's having a tantrum. Rightfully so.
Yeah. So the button's still on. There's no comms button.
You can't find one.
Computer, activate communications.
Nothing.
It was worth a try. Hey, Siri.
No, we can't do that. That's copyright.
Anyways, so there's nothing.
Nothing that you
Can
can find.
I-
Yes, I'll reiterate
Can I just
that.
like try grabbing the joystick or the steering wheel or whatever and just like, does it have one?
It does have a joystick. I don't like how they're called. It does have a joystick.
I have to go and make it weird. Okay, she's just gonna try like manipulating it to see if she can get the ship to alter its course at all.
You find resistance. There's a little bit of give, and that little bit of give, you see that the ship tilts in whatever direction you move it in. Not very dramatically, but as soon as you let go, it recenters itself and it goes back onto course correctly.
And I still have. Do I have any comm signal sitting in the cockpit?
One way to try it out.
Can I try hailing Black Shadow on my comms?
You certainly can try.
I try.
Okay.
I try real hard.
What do you say? What do you send?
I was gonna live call, but if it goes to message and that's the best I can do, I'll do that.
Okay. You try the live call. You go straight to voicemail. Not that you don't have service. You do have service, it indicates. It just goes straight to voice for Black Shadow.
Okay. I want to do a voicemail and then like forward it to text so he sees, because he might not open the voicemail right away, so I want to make sure it like sends so he can see it. And I'll say, hello, Black Shadow, sir. We may have found ourselves in a bit of a predicament. I don't know what's going on, and we could use some help. We're in trouble. Please call me your bite back. I don't know where the other two are, and there's good guys, bad guys, people chasing us, people trying to blow us up. Please call us back. Thank you. Bye. And then she'll end the call.
Spyderbyte, what are you doing?
exploring the ship. How big is this ship? How many rooms are in this ship?
It's not
Also,
a very big ship. It looks like a cargo hold ship. So it has one big area where cargo will go in. That's where you are now with the bench and everything. But it is empty of cargo. There is a closet, but it appears to be locked and not moving at the moment. And then there is the pilot area where Bloodstorm is currently.
I'd like to imagine in my own little perfect world that when Bloodstorm's making the call, she left the intercom on so that I can hear it. She's like, that's a bit of an understatement. There's no cargo, the one closet. Are there any other sort of like hatches?
Weapons?
Compartments of any kind? If not, I want to go for
Other than the cabinet that is locked when you try to open it, like a storage cabinet, so it has like a top open wide door and it has a little pull-out drawer, but to your efforts, it's not opening. I'm going to say this takes about an hour, both exploring, looking around, poking about, and with Bloodstorm doing everything she's trying to do. I think an hour about passes.
I want to open that closet. Or what kind of lock is it? I'm assuming it's not the typical like metal lock and key type one.
Well, that's the thing. You don't see how it's locked. You see handles, but you don't see like a key it would use. You don't see like a touchpad it would use or a number lock.
And obviously, if I grab the handles and give them a little jiggle, I'm assuming it doesn't move.
No, but it does give a little bit indicating it is
It is
possible.
meant to move.
Right, it's meant to move, yeah.
May I eventually go find Bite?
I want to find a button.
Hi.
find a button.
Yeah.
I'll have you looking for a button. Clickbait.
Hi.
As
How can I help
Bloodstorm,
you, sir?
as you begin turning out of the cockpit area to go back into the storage, you see a black jet on the horizon.
Does it look like Black Shadow?
It certainly looks like Black Shadow.
I go back and I'm gonna wiggle. I'm gonna take the joystick and go back and forth with it and try wiggle the wings to get his attention.
He completely ignores you and sonic booms past you, going the opposite direction from whence you guys came. Or I guess heading towards the direction from whence.
Oh no. Frag. And then at that point she'll like stomp off to go find Bite. Of course he doesn't notice us. Just our luck.
I think feel
She
like it's
stomps
lost in
off.
this cabinet. She turns like, what?
The intercom is still open. You just hear Bloodstorm stomping like as loud as she can.
Spyderbyte's just like gnawing on the corners, trying to get in.
She's in like the mandibles to like pry it open.
I'll be looking around while I walk to Spyderbite also.
Okay.
In case I see any hatches, hidden compartments, any section of the floor sounds different, or, I see any
Yeah, sounds
weapons.
great. I'm going to say you found the same things, which is Jack and nothing. Except for what Spyderbite is working on.
Okay, well, I will try and help Spyderbite find a way to get into these cabinets.
You guys get focused on the weirdest things.
How about it?
We have nothing else
There's
to
nothing
do.
else in here.
Mhm. No, you're doing great. You're doing great.
I have a set of decryptors. Can I like boo 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 boo, like go up and down like where I figure the cabinet should open? yeah, like beep boo 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 beep beep
Okay,
woo,
roll
yeah
me-
woo woo.
Why don't you roll me a d12?
A D12. That's such a random roll.
If you get a 1, we'll see what
I
happens.
don't like that. Oh, I got a 2.
You got a 2? So close. You felt like you came across a hidden lock, but you couldn't find it again.
Dang.
And you continue at this, both you and Spyderbite, for the next hour. And at this
Okay,
point,
Try and rip the door open.
right? All right. At this point, the ship makes its icon, which is much faster than a train, and lands on an air pad above Icon train station. As the landing gear touches down, cabinets extend outwards, revealing red hooded capes, 2 veil devices, and 100 Shannick. What would each of you like to do? The local time in Icon is midnight. roughly 8 hours until the primes arrive at the Nexus Amphitheater.
Question.
Yes, go ahead.
How many red cloaks are there?
2.
Man, dang it.
Does Bloodstorm know what a veil is? I know what a veil is, but does Bloodstorm know what a veil is?
Bloodstorm, what is a veil?
Well, the DM didn't answer, so I'm going to assume that I know. It is this super cool device where you attach it kind of like to your chassis, and it extends a hologram over you, so it changes your appearance, so you don't get recognized for being somebody. You can make it look like anything you want, but any parts of you that the veil extends past that don't actually exist in your form will be just hologram. So like if you make yourself bigger, then the parts of you that are bigger, like if you reach out to grab something, it'll just phase through. But it's basically like a second skin hologram. It veils your presence.
Oh.
Or was that a cloak? No, the cloak is for
No.
the feet. Cloaker is, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's super cool. So I want a veil because those are cool.
Mm-hmm. And
But
there
I'll
are
also
2.
grab a hood.
Yeah, Bite is gonna take a hood and a veil as well. These seem important. Especially for where we're going.
Gonna, like, when she puts the veil on and, like, the menu comes up, she's not gonna change anything about her body type because she's a pretty generic seeker. She's just gonna change her color scheme.
That's nice. You need to spend 1 hour before you can do that.
Oh, gosh.
What time is...
Currently midnight.
No. What time are the primes supposedly supposed to be arriving?
8 a.m., so in 8 hours.
Oh boy.
DM, can we take a rest?
I don't
We
see why
should-
not.
I am very low on health. I want to take a rest.
Are you wanting a full rest or a half rest? If you do a full rest, that is 8 hours in its entirety. If you do a half rest, that's 4 hours.
If we do a half rest, we still have time to attune to the veils. If we do a full rest, we will have to book it to get to the... We probably should have rested on the ship, but it's fine.
It was only 2 hours. It's fine.
Yeah. What do we get if we take a short charge?
A short charge or a half rest is half your health dice rounded up and healing, and then I believe you gain all your abilities. You gain half of them rounded down. Usages.
I haven't used any of my abilities, and I'm currently actually at full health, so we can do whatever you would like to do, Bite.
I am very low on health. Well, I'm like more than halfway, and my ability to heal is entirely depleted. So I would rather... I don't want to take a long rest because that's too long. I would rather take a short rest, at least get 1 Metacans to use, and then I can get a little more help would be great. And then we still have time to attune the veils and have time to make it together.
Cool. And you can attune the veils during a rest.
Oh, we can multitask! Yay!
Oh, if we can multitask, then I might as well take a long rest.
But are we at the spot in which the primes will arrive?
No,
Okay, yeah,
Oh.
that's
you're
the
at the
Okay.
train station.
I would rather
How
get
far-
there
yeah,
with
okay,
some
yeah,
ample
yeah.
time.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, we will take a short rest, please, DM.
During the 4 hours, you may roll half your health dice, rounded up, to regain hit points, and then all your abilities, their usages, replenish half their usages rounded down.
Okay.
And if you need help with math, just let me know.
Medic Sands, I can usually use them twice a day, so I can use it once.
Maybe before we do our rest, I'd like to use... I can do a bonus action to filter raw energon into a small energon vial.
You can do that
Okay.
if you want.
I will-
won't count it. That's
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll just do it once, though. Let me see what a small vial is. I have 1 small vial of maybe energon, and now 1 small vial of actually energon.
that you know of.
No. I did... The one I'm making is energon.
Mhm.
But I have a maybe energon that we picked
That
up.
makes sense. Checks out. Hits all the boxes. How much do you heal, Spyderbyte?
I healed for 5, which is
Woo!
not great, but I am almost full health, so I'll take it.
There
Yay.
you go. And then you attune the veil devices. How would you like to attune them?
Like, what do we
you
want to look
want
like?
the end result to look like? Yeah. If you so choose to use them immediately when you're done.
Let me
How
see how long
long-
they last for, because I know they have a
Yeah.
time limit. 1 hour outside of combat before
Alright,
it
great.
automatically deactivates.
So
It has 3 uses. And I'm assuming every 24 hours or every solar cycle it will regain 1 use. Or it just says after 3 uses this item turns to scrap. So I don't know.
Yeah.
How it
I was gonna say
recharges.
you're assuming a lot there because it's not renewable.
Okay, so we get 3 uses from them. I think right now, since it's the middle of the night, we're okay. We'll just have them ready to turn on because we should be able to program them before we like power them on officially.
Yeah, I feel like it's not worth it to do it immediately.
And we should keep them as a last
Last-ditch effort.
Thank you! And use
Also,
the cloaks primarily.
Do we want to actually leave the ship with cloaks on? Because if we're not in the spot where people will, I assume people will be wearing them, we're gonna stick out like sore thumbs with cloaks on. But do we just like slip out into the night and try to be unnoticed until we have to don them and the
Man,
veils?
neon pink.
Well,
I feel like
and
at this
what
point,
about it?
I feel like at this point our picture has been broadcasted enough that if anyone sees us, it could be a problem.
Put them on, let's get out. Put
Yeah,
them
let's
on,
just
let's
go.
get out.
Come on and get out.
All right, you put your red hood on, keeping the veil devices for later use. Stepping outside, you see a twinkling light off in space. Many others are outside and staring at the same thing. You hear out in the crowd bots murmuring that the twinkling light in the sky must be the primes. Still far away, but close enough to see the shimmering lights of their ship bouncing back to the planet from the nearby star. The city is jam-packed with bots from around the globe. Difficult to traverse any area without being shoulder-checked or touching someone's bumper on accident. Every street corner you spot guards standing motionless as monitoring the civilians. All of them wearing the same red face insignia on their shoulder. Most appear to have an armored vehicle alt mode, but ever so often you spot a skinnier flyer one as well. They stand out as they are all the same beige camo color pattern on all of them.
That's good to know. That's really good to know because we can just make ourselves look like them eventually with the
Well, you would
veils.
have to spend an hour reprogramming your veiled device.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Do we want to do that now? Do we want to wait?
That's a real good question. Well, if we're gonna stand here and wait for the primes to arrive, I don't know. I feel like being a soldier could require a lot of information that we don't know as babies.
That's what I was thinking. We might be required to do something.
Yeah, I think we just leave it with different color versions of ourselves for right now.
I think that's fair. Just really
Okay.
basic, very civilian.
And I think while we wait for the primes to show up, we can kind of like look around, see if we find anyone we know, and find a not in the middle of the crowd, kind of on an edge in case we need to like run.
Yeah, I agree. We can watch people, see if anyone is being suspicious at all or shifty.
Yeah.
Okay. As you escape into the crowd and manage continuing walking and turning around a corner, you both hear and see a commotion happening. One of the guards just pushed down a small seeker jet bearing a purple face insignia. The crowd is quietly upset by the actions and begin to erupt in anger, cursing and yelling at the guards. The guards stand still motionless as this happens. What do you do?
Watch. We do nothing.
Watch, I ain't intervening.
No way.
I am wanted.
Not as a wanted fugitive. Trying to
As
figure
you
out
stand there
what's going on because
watching,
you're clearly on different sides.
and coming around the opposite street corner, you hear chanting around the block. Growing ever closer, the crowd begins parting, making room for the oncoming group being led by someone carrying a staff with bells and chimes. Their form covered by the crowd both in front and around them, but this is what you hear them chanting. No road too long, no night too black, no scar too deep to turn me back. His voice still calms, his light still gleams. A spark once lost may rise redeem. Primus waits beyond our dream, and it repeats and reverberates amongst the crowd. With at the end of each verse, the stick twitches and chimes and rings.
That's interesting. Interesting. Do we know who this is, or?
Well, the voice is lost. It's the crowd chanting it.
Do we know what this chant is from?
No, you're babies.
That's fair.
We're just little babies.
I guess we're just gonna keep watching. This is a lot happening. This is all very different from what we've gone through so far, and I feel like we're witnessing the birth of multiple political revolutions happening all at once, and we do not need to be caught up in that as wanted fugitives who have no idea what's happening. So we're just gonna. I'm just gonna kind of like.
As if the world's alive with you and not waiting for you to do something.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of put my hand on.
The world is alive.
On Bite's shoulder, so I don't lose her in case the crowd checks her.
As soon as the crowd reaches the bot that was pushed down, you watch as the stick of chimes moves forward out of the mass. Hands around him raising up as he walks past. Quick Chime, current leader of the religious group called the Reversionists. You last saw them during your first introduction to Cybertron. He raises a palm and says the following: "Though rust may stain my weary frame, and past misdeeds may mark my name, Primus's light still shines so bright. With open arms he makes me right, a spark renewed, cleansed in sight. Megatronus, 12th passage after the passing of Solus Prime. In these readings, even a Prime can be forgiven in the optic of Primus if he follows the one." Quick Chime looks down to a scrambling seeker bot that was pushed down by the guard, currently digging through his pockets and revealing a magnetic badge with the symbol of the Matrix etched against it. Chime reaches down and picks them up onto their feet. "Primus looks down and smiles unto thee, and we look into the eyes of our brothers and sisters regardless of their harm and ask them the following." He stops, and the crowd behind him chants, "Though time may grind me down to dust, his forge burns bright. In him I trust. No fate is sealed, no soul too long. His love reclaims no matter cost. In Primus's name my spark is glossed." Quick Chime reaches a hand out to the guard, with the other hand pointing to the sky at the light above. "There's no better time than now to join and ask for forgiveness." And for the first time, you witness a twitch, a hesitation, come from the guard, their head slightly tilting up to view the light in the sky. One of their hands slowly comes off their weapon and reaches towards Quick Chime. The crowd is silent with his anticipation. What's going on in your brain module?
I'm thinking that so far of all the bots, this one is the least likely to turn us in. But also, Bloodstorm doesn't know that much about religion, and she doesn't know if this guy's just saying all this.
Yeah, religion's kind of a new concept, I think. There's so much to process.
I feel like she would want to trust him, but we've already been crossed by so many bots. I feel like she'd be hesitant to take any way out, but desperate at the same time.
Spyderbyte?
White is kind of watching, listening, absorbing what's being said, because this is, in her eyes, like, she is removed from the scenario. It is much bigger than her, and she doesn't quite understand. She doesn't have full context of what is happening. But it's those moments when you people watch and you realize that each individual person has a life, has opinions, has likes, dislikes. There's a word for it. I don't know what it is, but that moment when you realize everyone has a life that they're living individually and outside of yourself. And it's kind of humbling in a very, I wouldn't say mystical way, but she's a little dumbfounded.
Oh my god, she's growing up.
She's growing up. All four eyes are just all wide.
You're like, I'm not the only person living. Bloodstorm's like, how can we save ourselves?
As you think these things, the guards partner behind them, witnessing the events before, right in front of them, pulls out their weapon and charges it. Do you want to do anything?
And become more wanted?
Look, I want to make sure the
anything.
offer is on the table for you two.
Bloodstorm's self-preservation is going to kick in, and she'll like be a little bit tense, like her spine struts will lock real tight, but she's not going to move. She's not going to look away either, though.
Spyderbyte?
Bite, I think she's going to flinch for sure. She's going to flinch away, but probably not look away either. She
Okay.
wants to know what's gonna happen, but she will not intervene.
I'll give Bite's shoulder a little squeeze.
Thank you.
This guard that charged a weapon shoots upward near the other's audio receptor to try and snap them out of this temptation. This instead startles them, and they use their other hand, still gripping their blaster, and turn into the crowd and open fire, causing a disruption and a panic ensues. Those not a part of the reversionists run off. Meanwhile, Quickchime retreats into his followers and begins to chant, and quickly followed by the rest of those around him. This is what you hear. No glory shines like those who fall. To heed his voice, to heed the call. A life laid down, a battle won. For Primus will never be done. His truth outlives the fading sun. Roll initiative.
Roll initiative!
To whomst?
Everyone. There's a panic happening. I gotta see how quickly you can either get out or do something or stay there.
We're stampeding.
Oh my gosh. Bloodstorm's just gonna it rocks her to her core that these people aren't even gonna try to save themselves. They're just like, yes, no, shoot me. She doesn't understand that. She's just like, these people are crazy. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. And it's gonna make her a little bit angry.
I'm just gonna roll a flat d20 for the crowd, and I'll tell you what happens during their turn.
I got a 1, but not a nat 1.
That's better than nothing.
Yes.
I rolled a 14.
Okay, the crowd got a 12. Please update your sheet so I can figure out the order.
Our characters are dealing with a lot. This is a lot.
Oh, you should hear what happened in the other session.
But I think also Bloodstorm was probably baffled that a guard just got that spooked and just opened fired into a crowd. Like, oh my god.
She
how could
doesn't
you do that?
understand a lot of what's happening right now. She's very confused.
All right. So first up, we have Bloodstorm, the crowd, then Spyderbyte. So, Bloodstorm, what do you think of this mess? What are you doing?
I think this is a hot mess. And I did say we kind of wanted to be on the edge of the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm just gonna grab Spyderbyte and try and drag her so our backs are against a building or against somewhere where the crowd is running. But Are they running in all directions or are they only running in one direction?
The ones that are not part of the religious group are running in all directions. The religious group seems to be holding steady for now.
Yeah, because I don't want to just be the only people not moving, because that's really obvious. But I kind of want to get somewhere into an alleyway or tucked out of the path of the people, but where we can still figure out what the heck is going on.
Okay, as
I'm gonna
Spyderbyte,
try and
since it's
grab
not
Bite.
your turn, do you allow them to pull you?
Yeah, most likely just because I don't think Bite is cognizant of the panic happening. I think she's just lost in the premise. They just opened fire on someone.
You move against one of the walls buildings. There's no alleys down this road. That's my fault for not describing that. But you do press up against the walls so you have nothing against your back that could come at you.
Cool, and she's just gonna put her arm across Bite's chest so that Bite can't get knocked down.
Okay.
And she's just gonna watch. She's not gonna move or do anything. She's just gonna hold any real action.
Okay, perfect. It'll be the crowd's turn. And this is what they'll do. During their first turn, you'll see some bots tossing themselves in front of Quickchime only to get shot by the guards. Mostly the startled guards. The one that got startled was the one that was about to grab Quickchime's hand, but he misinterpreted that his partner's shot was being fired upon him, so he thinks he's firing in self-defense. And that will be it for their turn. You see 2 bodies fall in front of Quickchime. Spyderbyte.
Spyderbyte is going to hold on to Bloodstorm, but also look up at them and say, Should we leave? Should we? Maybe this isn't such a good idea. I didn't think that this would happen. Maybe we should go. We should try to call Black Shadow again.
He flew past us, Bite. He's doing something else. We can't... I don't know. We can't... I'm worried if we run, we'll just get knocked down in the crowd. Let's wait for it to thin a bit and then we'll run with them. But where would we go? We're wanted.
I don't know. Should we try and contact our brothers again?
And as you say this, Spyderbyte, we're going to move to Bloodstorm's turn.
Is the crowd still, freaking out because I don't want it to thin too
Oh
much
yeah,
because I
they're
don't want.
panicking. They're yelling. They're screaming. There's 2 dead bots now in front of them.
Yeah, that's not great. I'm just gonna wait until there's less likelihood of us getting trampled before we start moving because I don't want us, when the crowd clears, to be the only other people there aside from dead bodies. But I don't want us to get hurt, so I'm just gonna continue holding my action and just staying with Bite, and I can try and hail Black Shadow again.
That's a you decision.
I would like to, as I bring my wrist up to my comm, as I would like to try and call Black Shadow. I'm typing over here on my watch. I would also like to pull up in a separate window the tracker for radar, radar's tracker, that tracker, the tracker for radar, and see where they are.
The tracker indicates the acid waste.
Okay, later problem.
And as you
Focusing on Black
send
Shadow.
this message to Black Shadow, you see it sends on your end, you have service, but it has not been received from Black Shadow, which is a much different issue than you had earlier, indicating wherever they are, they may not have service.
Please help. It's bad. We don't have anyone else to call. We have no one else to call. Can I text the group chat that we have?
I'm going to say that's it for your turn. We're going to move on to what the crowd is doing. While the 2 got shot, other bots in the Reversionist group, weaponless, charge at the guards to try and stop them, only to fail and drop to the ground. Why are you bringing a fist to a gunfight? Who knows? Spyderbyte, go ahead.
I feel like Bite is in a little bit of a panic, mostly because I feel like because she's colorblind, if everyone is moving so fast, I feel like it's starting to become like a gray blur for her. It's like all sort of meshing into the same color. So she's worried that if she was to get separated, that it's going to be really, really hard for her to find Bloodstorm again. But I think in whatever she can, probably text the boys as well, and just a couple quick texts of, we're an icon, people are dying. That's it.
Okay. You have the same issue Bloodstorm has, where you have perfect service. It's sending, but it's not being received.
How is the crowd looking?
It's starting to get a little sparse. There's a big open area in the middle as where most of the crowd dispersed from, but there's still like that block of reversionists near the guard.
Where's the crowd dispersing to?
Just every direction, anywhere but here.
Out.
Okay.
At the end of your turn, Spyderbyte, you and Bloodstorm hear the following. A roaring thunder can be heard, splitting the sky. Fire pouring down to the center of the street. Transforming noise grinding. A booming deep voice stops the fight.
Halt! In the names of the primes, you must heed my command.
Figure that once stood in Crystal City now towers before all of you. Omega Supreme.
It just got really bad.
And we fade black. The scene changes once again, showing scenes of Seekers arriving in Icon, transforming from jet mode to bot mode, landing in alleyways, and activating holograms that cover the majority of their body, giving them the characteristics of that of a beige guard seen in this area. Though not all holograms are perfect, some clipping can be noticed as they move out into the crowd. The scene changes once more, revealing a train arriving at Iacon Station. The doors open, revealing the Energon Shed massacre inside. A single Termagax with glowing red optics steps out. The Horde we've seen earlier that entered the cart are no longer on board. Broken glass, hinting the rest of them must have departed before arriving in Iacon. And for the last scene, we shift to Tigermoth, leader of Cybertron, preparing himself for the arrival of the Primes. He stands up from his desk on the top of one of the tallest buildings in Iacon, peering down and looking at the vast city below. He turns back towards his desk and proceeds to leave. In our view, the monitor at his desk has 4 live video feeds. The top left video has a crew of green Constructicons building a large metal barrier inside a cave. The same cave from episode 1 that gave forge to the new protoforms. The top right video shows the mines of Kaon, several large gray and silver bots swinging pickaxes, providing the entire planet the very resource they need to carry on. The bottom left video looks more like a torture chamber. A white bot with gold and blue highlights and looks as pure as can be, has their limbs in massive cylinder restraints. Also in this room appears to be relics, the Star Saber, the Hammer of Solus, and oddly enough a purple severed hand with gold highlights rests near on a table. The bottom right video shows a large white room with no doors or windows, only a single pink boxy bot with some sky blue highlights, who resembles they may have an emergency vehicle alt mode sitting in the middle. We fade to black.